Hey there. So today I want to pick up an article coming out of Bounding into Comics. And if you haven't checked out Bounding into Comics by now, again, don't know what you're waiting on. I say this every time I come up with one of their articles that I cover something because I want to give them props. But I also think that people need to tune into them and really look at what's transpiring there. I mean, they cover a lot of insanity that comes up within culture. And I think it's important to back sides that do so. There's not enough of them that are willing to challenge the status quo, and they've taken their lumps for doing so. I've talked about how, for example, they have been blackballed by specific people within the industry. I mean, if you look at certain creators, they've been attacked there, and also those attacks have allowed places like Marvel to deplatform them. They have talked about in other articles how they do not receive comps anymore from Marvel because of attacks on them. And it's because they cover behavior and on. So if you're going to go out and you're going to give anyone your clicks, you're going to give anyone traffic, places like that definitely deserve it. I also caught this coming up on One Angry Gamer, and I thought this stuff was funny too. I mean, their description, it actually goes into a lot more finger pointing and laughing. So if you want to look up something that's funny, look up that as well. Now this involves the new She-Ra and the new redesigns that we've seen. And, well, there's been a lot of talk about that. In fact, when this stuff first came up, when you saw the first She-Ra designs, there were so many people out there that were talking about it, that were pointing fingers and laughing. And, you know, the response, well, you had all the Tumblrites at play. That was one of the interesting things there. We were told within current year that redesign is important. And when you look at redesign, well, what exactly it's trying to entail. Now, we heard about all of these current year buzzwords, all the pomp and the pageantry for sales that came up within that. We were told that, you know, this is current year. This is the way that people look now. We're trying to interject some type of positivity where we can showcase role modeling and whatnot. And, you know, Netflix, of course, they jump in feet first because they think for some reason this is going to resonate. Now, for me, I want to know who this is supposed to resonate with. I mean, you have people out there that want nostalgia. You would think the nostalgia buck would be important with this, but the redesign, it doesn't leave a lot for that. Again, we've already seen the She-Ra redesigns, so buckle up, buckaroo, because this is going to be one heck of a ride. I want you to really drink in that image that you see in front of you. In fact, that's why I've left it parked here, because I want you to drink it in, and then as we roll down, I want you to see exactly what those redesigns then tell. So Netflix, She-Ra and the Princesses of Power releases new design for Spinnerella, and fans, they hate it. So buckle up there. There's your new redesign. Netflix's She-Ra and Princesses of Power showrunner Noelle Stevenson recently released their redesign for Spinnerella, and fans are not taking to it at all. Now here's the new redesign. Looking at it, you can see all kinds of problems within this. Obviously, they have changed up the body style here significantly. I mean, when you're looking at that, but also within this, they have given the neck and the head, they've given it that skinnier look. So you have weight put on the character, but you don't have the weight transferred upward. So when you get up to the head or the neck, it looks strange to me. I don't know what that's supposed to entail too. I don't know if that's supposed to entail a standard wherein someone looks in the mirror and they see themselves a specific way. But you know, of course, this comes from the crowd that is trying to interject body positivity. You know, they'll tell you that this in some way relates something that's positive and that people of all shapes and sizes, they can all come together and enjoy. They also will tell you that, of course, seeing yourself on the screen, that's important. In fact, I am sure that there is probably a Sci-Fi Wire article out there written by one of the people that talks about this stuff regularly that will tell you that they see themselves in it. And then they'll go into some lengthy diatribe about how people have made fun of them in the past. They'll go in and relate this. And I wonder, when you see that and you hear what they say, what exactly is this supposed to, again, uplift? And what does that say about desirable qualities? You know, when you're looking at it, what is the marketing? And who is it marketed for? When I look at all of this, I always remember the industrial psychology push, you know, building the better mousetrap for consumers. Who is this going to lure in? How is this going to have success? When you go out and you ask that, companies, they should be asking. In fact, Netflix has had a lot of recent issues with actually making money. That's one of the things that people don't see behind the scenes with places like Netflix, Hulu, and on. These things, they don't make money. They lose quite a bit. You see competition out there between them, between Amazon and on, and, well, you know, they have to pour in money. They are always aggressively expanding. So when you look at their bottom line, they may make a lot of revenue, but then when you look at expenses, well, it's not evening out. You've been seeing that come up over and over again. And well, when you see stuff like this, again, why do they think that this is going to resonate with people out there? So you see the post here, the kind devoted wind spinner. Along with the redesign, Stevenson also released a brief description of the character. Spinnerella is not tied to a specific kingdom, but she's always been a staunch ally for the rebellion. By spinning, she can create cyclones of wind to blow the enemies away. She usually has a kind, loving nature, but she can go from gentle breeze to the mighty storm in a heartbeat. Now, fans took to Twitter to express their distaste for the redesign and pointed out how different this character design was from the original Spinnerella. So here's Mark Pellegrini talking about it, and he has the design side by side. So really, I mean, feast on that. I hate, by the way, the design where you go with not just the body style, not just the strange head, but I mean, look at the chin design, look at the eyebrow design and on. I mean, when you look at this, it has all of the mainstays of current year Tumblr art, you know, like a current year Tumblr profile and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it really, really makes me want to go out, and it really makes me want to sit down or set my kid down and watch that. I mean, doesn't it you? Don't you just want to sit down and drink all of that in? Oh, man. But continuing and talking about what Pella Creepy says here, the Netflix She-Ra release their redesign for Spinnerella. Can you tell the differences between the old and new design? Man, I feel like, you know, where do you actually start? Where can you go with commonality here? That's the thing. Well, you know, they actually have the same number of arm and legs. I mean, I haven't really gotten into counting fingers, but hopefully those things are the same. You know, things like that. Maybe they have the same amount of eyes. But I mean, when we get in there, what other similarities to get into this? You also see him add on talking about how this one, you know, overweight and has the power to break wind. Oh, that's nicely done there. I wonder how many people picked up on that. Now, of course, you have people that talk about, you know, fixing it. So they of course take jabs at it. You know, they're talking about how this is set within that. You have people like Josh, the amazing animator here. You know, they're saying that they seem more than happy to give fat bodies, but they refuse to give them similarly fat faces, like we were talking about before, which is true. Nerd Wonder saying the same thing here as well. I don't mean to be rude, but the revamp has the body of a husky build, but her neck and head is that of a thin lady. It comes off weird, and it does. I mean, when you see that disproportionate look, it's just like giving somebody that's really heavy, setting them on toothpicks. I mean, that wouldn't make sense. It would look kind of strange because proportionally it is flawed in some way. Then you have, you know, people that are talking about that. One of the things I definitely agree with here, how did the art get worse in 30 years? You would think you would build on it. You would think you would take that up. And again, what we're talking about is someone given a show here. So you would expect there for the art to be at the upper echelon. It shouldn't look like a de-evolution or something that devolves. I mean, we should be talking about something that reflects the upper echelon of creativity. I don't feel like that's there. Maybe you disagree. Maybe you think, man, that's the greatest thing out there. If you do, in fact, let me know about that, because I'd like to see how exactly this comes across in a positive way. So, people even talked about, hey, is that Faith with a dye job there? You see stuff like that. You see comments about being fat and so on within this as well. And of course, there are comments about NPC and on. I mean, you see a lot of people that are pointing a finger at this, and they're saying, what exactly, again, is a good thing within this design? And I think that some of these comments here too, when you're talking about a superhero and you're talking about something that is an unhealthy body style, again, what are you advertising? Who is your audience? If you're talking about kids out there, are you talking about some unhealthy standard, and why should you promote that? That's what I've never understood about this kind of stuff there. Why promote an unhealthy standard? But anyhow, we could go on and on looking at comments there, but I really just wanted you to see exactly how that looked, and I wanted to get your opinion on it. What do you think of these kind of changes? You don't have to be involved or care about this project either. When you look at it, I mean, just what do you think about that? Let me know within the comments. Also, if you like this kind of stuff, if you like this kind of content, please consider supporting the channel. But there are also links within the description that allow people to go and back that if they enjoy it. There's a Patreon link, there's a PayPal link there. Also, I'm not live streaming here currently. I'm building up my other channel out there. It's an older one, but it's never been utilized. So go check out The Umbrella Guy. It's actually a place that we go and live stream every day. Go and check that out. But also here, let me know what you think about it, and make sure to tune in to catch the at least daily video, sometimes a little bit more than that, but at least a daily one. And as always, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate that.